We wanted to ask you some personal questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I loved Senator Tom Coburn, who you replaced in the
Yep.
Senate, and I wanted to know, did you ever get to know him? Do you have any experiences with him? And when I think of him, I think of just like the man who was, they called him, I think, Dr. No, because he was like
Dr. No.
so against waste, so against spending. What do you think he would think of what's going on with Doge right now and Elon? And what do you think he would just think of the country right now? The interactions I had with him, he was like a really straight shooter. My dad
Yep.
loved him, like was
Yep.
obsessed with him. And he was just, I think he's just really missed right now.
Yeah, he's really missed. So let me say a couple of things. I want to correct one thing you said. You said I replaced Dr. Coburn. No one replaces Dr. Coburn.
Okay,
I'm in that same
that's
seat,
fair.
but there's not another one of him. Those are boots I cannot fill in that. I am very passionate about dealing with the waste and efficiencies, but he was very passionate about that. People knew him as Dr. No, but he was also a guy that taught a Sunday school class still on Sundays back in his home church. He was very engaged in a lot of policy areas. I did get to know him very well. In fact, I will never forget the last weeks of his life. I was went and visited he and his wife Carolyn at their house, and we just sat and talked for a while, just visiting. And he obviously knew he was getting close to the end, and so he was just waxing and telling stories. He ended up giving me a book. That was his book that he read all the time. It's a Christian book called the Great Omission. That is the challenge of the things that we don't do, and it's all marked up, highlighted. Clearly, he read it multiple times and marked it all up. And he was like, "This is a principle, life principle for me," and handed that to me. I still have that, obviously. And so there's a lot of great memories and conversations that we had over the years.
Yeah, he's a really wonderful man. Like, really, I just really miss him. What do you think he would think of Doge and what's going on in DC?
I think he would say about Doge, it's about time,
Mhm.
because he said years ago, "Hey, if we don't start dealing with waste now, it's going to get a lot harder in the days ahead." Now we have $2 trillion in overspending, and everyone complains about $1 billion being cut, and we're like, $1 billion being cut is not close. We're going to have significant changes. He put out a book once called Back in Black, and it was this list of everything that would have to be cut if we actually are going to balance the budget. And all of Washington, D.C. was like, "That's crazy." Well, Doge is actually taking some of those ideas, some of the things that I've actually laid out with what I call federal fumbles every year, and they're actually implementing some of those things. And people are complaining, but then they turn around and say, "But yeah, we got to find a way to be able to reduce spending," which is true. We can't keep borrowing money from all over the world and from ourselves and think this doesn't have a consequence.